you doing? Not good. Why? I'm really sick.
It's Friday, I wish.
As long as you're drinking water. Stay hydrated.
Oh, this is big skateboard that they put on.
Oh, it's only 31 seconds. That's lame.
It's a huge skateboard they put down a hill.
I don't think so.
What are we doing during high time?
It's a huge skateboard.
That'd be good. How far did you guys get? Yeah, did anything good happen yet?
How
We're on like page 28 because we're so good. Did you know that we were reading
When do we get to
let us
see what books we get?
Me and Abby doing skateboard.
Oh great, they're recording us now.
Then this one.
They found out.
I don't know whose desk I'm sitting in, so I'm sorry if I'm saying
Where are you supposed to be?
I'm waiting for
Yeah, we're reading this. Me and Matt here reading this storyteller. And then
no, there's an iPad and
Stop!
Film. Your desk and then do the deck.
Being filmed?
Yeah.
Tomorrow.
I didn't put on my makeup.
Did you read my
You remember it for tomorrow.
every time you say that?
and then whatever.
Let's just practice.
One.
I'm Samuel Seabury and he's not here.
We should get time to Sarah.
Wait, why is there an iPad there? Record us.
Cool, I'll do this.
To see how we act as children.
Sarah. Iris, are you angelic?
I'm Tyson. All day, every day.
But I want to be a shock. Get one off of the iPad.
Fine, I'll be Tyson.
And Sarah's Peggy and I'm Samuel Seabury. Remember in the back?
Samuel Seabury.
And I present free thoughts on the proceedings of the
Wait,
Continental.
I go downtown just to watch all you guys at work.
I will say.
Hamilton is the best.
Is it a rap album?
It actually is.
My dog speaks him or Elliot.
I'm giving you this every time you say
Evan, give it.
Which class is late today?
Choir. Nuh-uh, that's not true.
Annika's here.
I didn't have choir, they had gym. We already finished that song. Leah gets to be Philip.
No, I honestly want Hamilton.
Fine. I guess you can do that later. We've got this.
Hey,
Lawrence,
good morning.
Thank you.
How was special?
Be Lafayette. You're here, you can be Lafayette. I want to be Lafayette, but they won't take me.
Okay, we're gonna get started. Quiet down, guys. I'll wait till we're all quiet. Rob, let's close, please. Thank you. Okay, so today we're gonna try to keep going in our Holocaust unit, but we're gonna take a bit of a step back and look at overarching themes within the Holocaust. Okay. So first, we're gonna do Smile of the Day. It's nice and short and sweet. Another stop motion video. person that has to be a hand character.
Only the one part.
No, but Mariah, you had the same accent.
I know. But they're not the same character though.
Okay, so who can tell the class what we did yesterday?
Magic things.
We did we learned about the Holocaust and we wrote down our book choices.
Yes. What did we learn about the Holocaust?
We learned
Hitler wasn't like, he was a good leader, but he was like a nice person.
Okay. Who can remember any of like the true or false
He
activities?
killed
that we did?
himself, and that is true.
Okay, but is that something that we went over?
Yeah.
Very vaguely. What else did we go over? Different kinds of concentration camps.
It was only in World War II. Something about World War II, not World War I.
Was it only in World War II?
Yeah.
Yes.
But World War
Yes,
One
you
was
told me that. Yesterday, somebody said, no, it's World War I, and you said, I never said that.
It spans the more than the world than when World War II happened.
Yeah, basically.
Correct. Yep. But it started in 1933, and the war didn't start till 1939. So this entire period of time spanned over the course of Hitler's reign, not just World War II. Okay. So this was our yesterday's learning target. I can explain the importance of learning the Holocaust, and I just kind of want to go and revisit it. Okay. So let's return. What do we want to do to learn about the Holocaust? Why is it important? Evan.
Sorry. Do not screw up again and make history repeat itself.
Okay. Why else should we learn about the Holocaust? It's a huge part of history. Well, what did we talk about yesterday? We kind of glossed over, which is why I want to go back to this. Hitler was a big part, yes. Our first big thing that we want to understand are the dire outcomes of stereotyping and prejudice. Remember what happens when someone's negative opinions become too strong? War. Arguments. Yeah, so what happened to the Jewish population as well as everybody else who was undesirable?
6 million Jewish people died.
Mhm.
3 billion other people died.
Mhm.
2.8 other million people died. 100-something thousand people died.
Good memory, Dean. Okay, so why else should we learn about the Holocaust?
260,000.
Yeah, Jen.
So we can understand things that have like gone on during history, because that's like important stuff to know.
Yeah, definitely. We also need to understand why it is dangerous to remain a silent bystander. So, Evan and Jack kind of emphasized how we don't want to repeat history, and we eliminate that possibility by standing up for others, okay? So, because people stood up for the Jewish population and had them hide in their houses, it wasn't completely all-consuming within destroying the Jewish population. Okay, the war eventually ended, and they were liberated from the concentration camps. Our last understanding is the possible abuse of power. Because what happened when Hitler came into power?
Death.
Lots of death. Jack.
He used his power for bad things.
Yeah, so Miss Wardine and I were talking about how he controlled everything while he was in power, right? The schools, everyone's rations for food, even books. If he didn't want you to read a certain book, like we said, he would burn it. He would have public displays where Nazis would come into your village, raid your houses, take away all the books that weren't supporting the Nazi beliefs, and they would burn them. Okay? So he abused his power because he got too obsessed with what he was able to do. Okay? what everybody would like to learn, and these were some of the most common. So we want to learn what happened in the concentration camps, and those of you who chose night will probably read that in detail. But because we're not all going to be able to read that novel, I will try and find different articles, different resources that we can look at in class to help answer the question why or what happened in the concentration camps, okay? As well as why did Hitler hate the Jewish people to such an extreme? So some of the books might touch upon this in a different way or in a more detailed way, but I will do my best to find, again, resources that help us illustrate this, okay? As well as what was Hitler's background. There's a lot of interest in that and how he thought, why he thought what he thought, and his upbringing and just how he came to power and everything relating to his background in life. There's a lot of interest in escape stories, so those of you, again, who are reading night might find it really interesting to know that, excuse me, he survived, but he's not the only one. So I will find something about that. Some of you asked what Holocaust means, so we'll look more into that. And then the resistance. So those of you reading We Fought Back and The Boy Who Dared, that's going to be a really good resource for you. And maybe when we talk about the resistance in class, you can kind of shed some light on that and give some background on what you're reading in your book. Okay? So did anything surprise you yesterday? Yeah, more.
Why is it called the Holocaust?
The Holocaust? Okay, it actually means death by fire.
Oh.
So it wasn't initially called like this event's going to be called the Holocaust. You know what I mean? They didn't know that till long after. And once they realized that they were eliminating Jews by either burning them or cremating them, that kind of stuff, the German word for fire is Holocausten. If I'm not mistaken, I might be butchering that. But that's the form that it came from. So Holocaust means death by fire. So that's kind of like the impact on how it got its name and stuff like that. But we can look further into that and like how everything happened and how it came to be. So, did anything surprise you about yesterday? Did you learn anything you didn't know?
How many deaths there were?
It was pretty extreme, wasn't it? Especially that chart that I showed you, right? When there was 6 million Jewish people who died compared to the rest of the population.
There were, like, did they go all around the world finding them?
They stayed mostly in Europe. But as we said, some people think a misconception would be to state that it only happened in Germany. It happened, yeah, Germany, Austria, Poland, Italy, France, and I don't think Sweden ever entered that. I think it remained a free country.
They stayed neutral throughout the war.
Yeah, so it was pretty neutral, but it happened in Central Europe.